Okay, so hey everybody, I hope everybody's having a great day today. Thought I would talk to you about what it really costs and what you really need to do to put a procharger and cams into your 05 to 10 car. I made myself a little cheat sheet because there's a lot to it. I got lucky. I was able to find one that was barely used. A guy that's helped me build this car and worked on this car knew someone that bought this kit new and then wasn't able to use it. I'll leave it there, but that's how I got it. I ended up giving $2,700 for the whole kit. It's about a $7,500 to $8,000 kit. I went with comp cams. I have the Mother Thumper comp cams in it. Naturally, it come with it. The procharger came with the injectors, the big injectors. Went with a BBK throttle body. So let me just give you a rundown on it. Flowmasters, a Barton short shifter, $349. An aluminum drive shaft, $617. Has Netto tires all the way around that are 18-inch, and it has the bullet rims. I bought those from American Muscle, and that was about $1,080. I have racing seats in it. They were $1,200, and that was with the seat belts and the mounts. BBK lowering arms, SVE coilover kit. That was $700 for the kit, $100 for the arms, and about $300 labor to have it all put on because I wasn't able to get under it and I don't have a lift, so doing the suspension would have been really hard. So center force clutch, I've got about $1,000 or so in the clutch, parts, everything that's put in, labor and everything. I deleted the rear seats, and that was a $168 kit. Now, with that being said, I'm going to go over, why I did it the way I did it and what you have to do this. You can just put it on, but when you put that kind of power on, I am at 500 horsepower to the rear wheels and like 450 pounds or 58 pounds of torque. That's what my, we did it on a dyno, so I know the exact numbers. Here are some of the things that you get into when you do this. First thing is, I did the cams before I got the procharger. I did not want to spend $8,000 on a procharger. So if you do the cams first, then you have to tune the car and do all that, and you're going to spend $400 or more, on the tune and the dyno. So then you get the procharger and you put it on, well, you're going to spend another $400 or $500 on the tune because you have to retune it again. But there's a couple of things you probably won't even know about because no one ever mentions it. Like procharger didn't mention it, and the guy that put it on for me didn't mention it. And when it happened, he said, "Oh man, I forgot to tell you about that." The damper on this car, it will break the boat off. When you put a procharger on and you leave the stock damper on, there's about a 90% chance it's going to break the boat and it's going to throw the belt within maybe 400 or 500 miles because that damper cannot handle that. And that's why I bought an ATI damper. It was like $400 from procharger. And procharger don't tell you, it should be included in the kit because you have to change it. It just will not hold up. And when you do that, you need to get a new boat also because those are a one-time torque boat. So, all right, so with labor and everything, I had about, with the cams and the procharger, the belts, everything that I did, the damper, everything, labor and all, because I got it used, I had about $4,540 in it. Great deal, because I was lucky enough to find one that was used, that was new. It wasn't wore out, it was like brand new. So I went from about 328 rear wheel horsepower all the way up to 500 rear wheel horsepower and 458 pounds of torque. Quite a lot of difference there. But when you do that, the next thing you have to think about is suspension, tires, all that comes into play. Because the car is producing way more power than it used to. It's gonna be all over the road if you don't have good tires on it. If you don't lower it, you're not gonna get a good launch. You're just gonna sit and spin or go from right to left. It did all that. And when I did all the work to it, all that went away. But you can't hardly do one thing without doing the next thing, and the next thing, because when you do, you will find that your car is a totally different car. And it's not gonna handle the same, it's not gonna work the same. So one thing that when you go up on power, you have to go up on other things to adjust the car to be able to handle that power if you want it to perform like it's supposed to. So I went with the SVE coilover kit, that was $700. BBK lowering arms, $100. BBK bump stocks and isolator. The Nitto tires, 18-inch Nitto tires, new rims, and staggered on that. Flowmaster exhaust, Barton short shifter, aluminum drive shaft, like I said. All these things you need to do when you put the procharger on. It's not just putting the procharger on per se. It's a lot more than that, simply because the car is going to perform differently. So, you know, when you're talking about doing all this stuff, I gave $5,500 for the car originally. It was a one-owner car. It was bone stock when I got it, and it had 80,000 miles on it. I put about 6,000 miles on the car since I did the procharger. I've had the car now going on 8 years, and with everything that I've done to car, labor, procharger, everything I've done, I've got about $19,000 in it. So it costs quite a lot of money to do it. Even if you get that's with the car price too. That's with the $5,500. So about $14,000. And that was going with a used one. So if you were going with the new one, it would be another $5,000. So you would have about $24,000 in it, just in parts, labor, and doing it. So, if you're thinking about doing this, if you can find a used one, and I'm talking about that someone actually you trust knows. I've heard horror stories about people buying them used, and then, man, they have all kinds of problems. There's a video on YouTube of a guy that bought a used one, and things didn't fit just right, and I don't think that was actually for that year car and things like that. I have always watched, Facebook Marketplace and everything. You just don't see a lot of them, and if you do, you don't know how many miles is on them. So, you're looking at about $20,000-$25,000 to build this car if you go with a new procharger. And like I say, you have to change that damper. If you don't change that bottom damper out, it will break. There's just no doubt about it. So once you build the motor, once you do the suspension, well, what's next? You have to put a clutch behind it that can handle that horsepower. You got to put a drive shaft behind it that can go upwards of 130 miles an hour. This car probably will run 160, maybe 170. I don't know. I'll never know. I'll probably never go that fast in it. I've had it up to 130 miles an hour, and it had a lot more to go. So, you're changing the car dynamics to a lot faster, a lot quicker. A lot of different things are happening when you go up on that power. So, so people say to me, then why did you do it? Why didn't you just, buy a Coyote? And I have one sitting there. I have a 14 also. Because when I bought the car, I wanted this model car. I wanted a 05 or 06. I love the style of this car. It has a lot of the old, Mustang look when I was in high school. And so I thought this was what I wanted, and it was. and I was willing to spend the money to have it. Now, you know, some people say, man, 500 horsepower to the rear wheels, that's too much. But I have 6,000 miles on it, and it's still doing good. And like I say, I don't go out and race it every, you know, weekend. I don't, you know, every time I leave the red light, you know, burn the back tires off of it. But the car has done really good. And the guy that did all the work, and that was a professional shop, said to me, as long as you don't, you know, like redline it all the time, you probably won't have any problems. Just, you know, remember, it's 500 horsepower, and this motor, that is right on the edge of all this motor can stand. So, you know, I love the car. I mean, it's a really great car. I've had it now all these years. I don't drive it all that much, but it's never left me on the side of the road. But one time, and then I drove it home, because the pulley won't fall off of the damper. I mean, the damper won't fall off. The pulley will fall off of the damper, but the damper stayed on because it's kind of has a key that holds it in also. So I drove it about 8 miles on back to the house, and then I had a wrecker pick it up and take it on over to the shop where we changed it out and put the new one on. So, you know, if you're thinking about doing this to a 05 to 10 car with a 4.6, it's gonna cost some money. So, you know, that's one of those deals where it's up to you on what you like, what car you like, and how much you're willing to spend to do it. But it will definitely change everything about the car. Man, this car is fast, it's fun to drive, sounds good. When I drive through parking lots, people give me thumbs up because of those big cams and the way it sounds with the procharger, and it is a blast to drive. So before you buy, I hope you watch this video, because you won't get away less than what I said, I promise you, on money and time. There was a lot of time invested in this too. So hope you're having a great day. It's a beautiful day in Texas for sure. So we will catch you on the next one, and I hope this helps you out if you're thinking about doing a procharger and cams. Have a good day, everybody.